Thank you very much. The rules that I have for the intro are the same that I have for my workshops and for the previous intro if you were here before, which means do not hold on to your questions. If you have a question, raise your hand and ask it right away. Do not let me continue on if you feel stuck somewhere. Tonight is a mini workshop. You're going to learn things that you cannot unlearn. You can try. You're not going to be able to unlearn what I have to show you. It's too fundamental and too basic. Are there any tourists here? Spiritual tourists? Because you're going to go crazy. Okay, so this will change your life. It's going to change how you perceive the world, and it's going to change how you interact with people. Are you up for it? Yeah. Oh, yay! The first time I attempted to teach this, a wildfire the day before burnt down the entire complex where I was meant to be teaching. Wiped it out. Next time I tried to teach it, wildfire burnt down my house a couple of days before I was supposed to teach in Oakland. It stirs up a lot. But if you pay attention and feel your body, you'll notice that you've always known what I'm going to teach you today. I'm not really teaching you, I'm just reminding you. When you get it, well, we're going to have a lot of fun. Today is an intro. I'm giving you a piece of the workshop that happens. When does the workshop happen, Kira?
Friday evening.
Friday evening at 6 o'clock. So whatever you get out of tonight, if you'd like to learn more, you can come to the workshop Friday night and we'll expand that. EnergyWorks, I call it EnergyWorks because it explains how everything works. Everything. The way you breathe, the way you interact with people, the way things come to you sometimes, the way things fall away from you sometimes, how you get along with others. Pretty much everything. Any questions so far? I'm just setting up your curiosity. So I am primarily a body language teacher. This is a body language class. It's not a metaphysical class. It's a body language class. It's about feeling your body. So if ever you're not sure of what you're feeling or what you're sensing or it's not working for you, just raise your hand. It's totally okay. What I'm going to show you is not complicated. In fact, it's too simple. It's so simple that it's hard to get. And when I first heard this from my teacher, I was like, wait, what did you just say? And it took a while, to be pounded in. In fact, I know somebody who took a similar class from my teacher for years before he got it. However, I'm a better teacher than my teacher. So who was here in September and saw me speak? So not everybody. So my primary spiritual teacher, body language teacher, was born left brain dead. He could not speak until he was about 9 years old. Until he was 9, all the information he got from the world was through his body sensations. So he could look at somebody, and if he felt sad, he would know that they were sad. Or he could look at somebody, and if his knee hurt, then he knew that their knee hurt. And that is basically where the body language training comes from. It comes from a person who was born without an intellect and had to understand the world completely and purely only through body language. Questions about that? So anyway, this is not an intro about Patrick, but you should know where this comes from and why it's so simple. It's simple because it's not based on our intellect, it's based on how we feel in our body. Yes?
So you're saying it's based on how you feel in your body?
Yes.
I live in my head.
Okay.
So, are you going to show us how to reconnect with our...
That can be part of tonight, yes.
Okay.
And I will do what I can to get you back in your body. So,
The exercise will.
Okay.
yeah, the exercise will. And, come to my intro tomorrow night. Tomorrow night's really about body language, and we can get really specific there. Tonight is really about how energy moves. Energy only ever moves in one direction. It only moves in one direction. It moves from a high pressure area to a low pressure area. You think of wind. When there's wind, it's because there's an excess amount of wind pressure in one area and it's connected to an area of low pressure. And so the wind deflates. It deflates from the high pressure area into the low pressure area until both sides even out. That's the experience of wind. Wind is an experience of balance. Make sense? Anybody disagree? So this is really simple. It's so simple that it might fry your mind a little bit. Everything in life can be put into either high potential or low potential. Everything. So, in terms of wind, that high pressure area, it's sending air out and away from itself, and it's being absorbed by the low pressure area. Me, as a speaker, I'm putting energy out in high potential to you, and if you're listening, you are in low potential, taking the energy in. That is simply an experience of the universe looking for balance. It's the fundamental law of the universe. Its job is to find balance. That's how the universe started. It was thrown way out of balance, right? The Big Bang, right? Whatever myth you want to have. And now it's just trying to even itself out. The problem most of us get into is that instead of going into low potential when we try to receive something, we instead go into high potential and take. Now, this is something we all do. When we do that, it scrambles our body language. Hi, Dave. It's literally scrambles our body language. Who here has the critical voice? Wow, you're not doing it right. You're sitting in the wrong place. Right? So I do too. We all do. The difference is, and maybe you can do the same thing, but mine's off. I can turn it on if I need to, but I can also shut it off at will. So no monkey mind, but no extra voice. Now the voice is there. It'll show up anytime I go out of balance. It shows up. So what we're doing tonight in this short intro is giving you an experience and some basic tools so that when you find yourself out of balance, you can put yourself back into balance quickly. And what happens when you do is you'll suddenly feel reconnected to the world, that voice goes down, you can start feeling the love again, and life becomes easy. Now you're also going to learn that when you go out of balance, right? When you do high potential when you should be in low potential, or when you do low potential when you should be in high potential, what happens is the mind kicks in, we start feeling disconnected. If we think we're right and the universe is wrong, and so we keep going on the same path, then we can go even further and fall into depression or fall into feeling completely disconnected. The good news is that if you've ever felt any of those things, if you've got the voice telling you you're wrong or you're bad or other people are bad or whatever, that's not a big deal. There's nothing wrong with you. All it really means is that you've been mismanaging your internal energy. And that voice is basically trying to get you to go back into balance. Now, the good news is that that voice is not your master. You are the master. So by doing these simple tricks to stay in balance, you can get the voice to shut down. You can increase your sense of connection. And once you've got an increased sense of connection, then you can really use the tools of EnergyWorks to give and receive with people in a much easier way, whether it's, money because you want to shop, or love because you just love and love your people, or whatever it is. Any questions so far? Okay, good, that's amazing. So I do not script my talks, I just start talking. So, I'm always surprised if nobody has a question. Yeah.
If you're in communication with somebody and they're taking a lot of your energy and you're feeling it energetically, does it help with that sort of thing? Can you rebalance that sort of thing?
Yes. So can everybody see this board? Is that in a good place? Knowing if you are in high potential or low potential is the key to finding balance. The high potential is talking, and low potential would be listening. So this is high potential would be giving, and and low potential receiving. Does this make sense so far? Okay. Now, what you're talking about, I believe, I could be wrong, maybe I misheard you, is this thing called not talking. And it's something we all do at times. Some of us do it all the time. I used to. And that not talking is when someone's talking to you, but instead of listening, you're spinning your wheels about what you're going to say next. You're waiting for them to finish so you can get your 2 cents in. You say 2 cents here? You do? Okay. When we do not talking instead of listening, that's where we go out of balance. The monkey mind kicks in. We start overthinking. And then our sense of connection to the person we're talking to goes out of filter, goes out of whack. So it's like you ask somebody, hey, what do you want for lunch? And they say, oh, about 3 o'clock. And you're like, wait, that's not what I asked you. It's because they're not actually listening. Instead of listening, they're not talking. Make sense?
It wasn't actually, it wasn't quite what I meant.
Okay.
Does it matter?
Well, sure. Do you mean someone taking on your energy, like picking up your anger, if you're like
well,
getting
say,
animated?
Say
or?
you're with somebody and they don't stop talking, and you're kind of trapped into listening all the time, and they're coming at you. And,
That's called being held hostage.
That kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Does
that
it help with that? Is a what's that?
yes. Well, so holding hostage is high potential. So someone's using their words to keep you wrapped up in whatever they're doing, and they won't let you get a word in, and won't let you walk away, or.
Yes.
Now, what happens there, that's a little more complicated, but what happens when someone does that to me, the automatic reaction is to go into high potential. I have to leave. You want to cut them off, but then, that feels like you're being rude, right? So then we don't do that, and so we go into not talking. It's really hard to listen to somebody who's in their drama, right? Instead, we go into not talking and start thinking about something else, or wishing we could leave, or giving them love, or whatever. But that's typically what we do, is we start not talking, but they are in high potential too.
Yeah.
And yet we're also in high potential, and what happens is there's no balance, and so the conversation continues and continues and continues. The way to end the conversation is to go into low potential, to take in what they're saying, and then give an acknowledgement. I heard you. Well, that ends it. I heard you. I hear what you're saying. When we're not talking instead of listening, we tend to forget about acknowledging. Right? We're so busy wrapped up in our own wheels that we don't acknowledge what the other person's saying. And then even if we do, anytime we give an improper acknowledgement, like when someone says 3 o'clock after you ask them what they want for lunch, that just makes you want to talk more to them. No, you didn't. You misunderstood me. Then they want to re-explain it yet again. So it's really critical to give a full acknowledgement. So the person knows that you heard them, and then they feel the balance and they stop talking. But if we don't give an acknowledgement, they don't know that we've heard them, then they're just going to prattle on. That's kind of how it goes.
Question.
Yes.
In a situation, excuse me, in a situation like that, could asking a question be something that kind of redirects from low potential, or?
It's whatever the situation. I mean, that's too specific. So I don't know. It depends on the person. Some people get animated because they're mad. Some people get animated because they're happy. Some people get animated and start holding hostages because they feel lonely. So it's really, if you ask the appropriate question, the answer is yes.
Right. Yeah. Appropriate.
Right? It's just, the key is to be appropriate, because if you're connected and sharing, then your response is going to be appropriate and the person's going to receive what you're saying. But if you're not listening, you're not hearing what they say, then if you give them an acknowledgement, it might not make sense to them. What about breathing? Inhale, exhale. Where does the inhale go on here? Inhale? Yeah?
Yeah, I would say.
Because you inhale.
Right, because it's energy in. And so that means exhale's over here, right? And here's what everybody's been missing forever and ever. You're only ever in one potential at a time. You cannot be both high and low potential at the same time. You can do them both back and forth really quickly, but you're only ever putting energy out or taking energy in. You can't do both. It's not possible. You only have one pipe. It's your body. Energy goes away from it or energy comes into it. When we talk on an exhale. You can't talk on an inhale. And you can try. It sounds really funny. Hi, how's it going? Like, it's just not possible. You have to talk on an exhale. Giving, right? When you give something to somebody, it's on an exhale, and they should receive it on an inhale. What side is our giving side? Does anybody remember from bodyliners class?
Right.
For most of us, it's the right side. Not everybody, but most of us, it's the right side. Right? And left is our low potential side, the receiving side. So if I go to give you something, I need to use my right hand and put it into your left hand.
Oh,
And then it feels natural.
okay.
If I do this, does that feel as natural?
I don't know.
Right. Good for you.
Answer to that.
Say, left to leave, right to receive.
Right to give, left to receive.
Like, left.
Left to receive, right to give.
Because I'm right-handed, so
Makes no difference.
no, but I've not thought about that.
See what you did, you're in high potential, you just took it
Yeah.
with your right hand.
Yeah, I'm right-handed. So
Yeah.
I could then practice
Practice, yeah.
just taking something with my.
Just
In
notice-
some cultures, they don't like it if you touch things with your left hand.
Well, keep your hands clean, it's okay.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
you notice how that feels?
Yeah, it kind of was different.
Oh,
It
feel,
does-
feel it with your right hand.
What about shaking hands where you're both using the
Yeah,
right
that's custom though, isn't it? I think it was different.
Yeah. And well, it's very subtle, it's a body sensation. Oh! Maybe we should talk about that one. Oh boy. Oh boy.
Hey, pizza.
Pizza. Hey! All right, so high and low. So where's cause? Cause and effect, where do they go? Cause and effect, where do they go? Huh?
Yeah, I thought
Cause and effect. And this is where most of us get into trouble, because we were taught that being causative makes you important. Being the doer gives you value. What you cause to happen in the world determines your value to the world. Is that an oversimplification? But that's basically, we're taught to do stuff. Huh? We're taught, we go to a cocktail party or any party at all, what do people ask you? What do you do? What do you do? So doing is on this side also. Being is on this side. Being is a low energy activity. And what does being mean? Being means taking energy in toward you. Doing is sending energy out. If you're at work and you have to fix something, that's something that you're doing, right? But then when you're done, you take a break. Take a breath. Now, you're simply being. You're doing that thing called work, and when you're done with it and you step back and look at what you did, then you're being a worker. It's different. It's high potential mode and then low potential mode. Make sense? I mean, there's a kind of a breathing that goes on there. When you're at work, you find something you have to do, and so you do it as a high energy activity, changing something outside of yourself. And then when you complete it, you withdraw and you look at it and make sure it's the way you want it, make sure it's what the boss wants or whatever. That's a low potential activity. You're taking information in. And then if you see something to fix, then you go back into high potential and fix it, and then you look at it again in low potential. The difficulty, I mean, the thing is, we are all human beings at our core. We've been fooled into thinking that we're human doings. Who here's a human doing or was? You know what I'm talking about when I say human doing? Okay. Where is control? Bong! No, you're all wrong. You're all wrong, and that's why you're here tonight, and that's why I'm teaching this class. Control is every single time in low potential.
It's restriction.
Control meaning the ability to make choices based in reality. How about that? I just invented a definition for control. When we are in high potential, we don't notice all of the information that we require to make good choices. We don't, because energy is going out. We're not taking in what's going on. And so when we go to make a choice, it isn't based on what's actually happening outside of us. That's how most of us get into trouble. Make choices that the next day we're like, oh man, why did I make that choice? Yes.
The way I'm hearing that sounds, because I go into fight or flight quite a lot, and I don't make good decisions at that point.
At which point?
When I'm in fight or flight, I don't make good decisions.
No,
So I
nobody
presume
does.
that's when I'm high.
Yes.
Because, and I think to myself afterwards, oh, if I just taken a step back and watched, or
Right, and watching is low potential because you're taking
I
information
could
in.
have handled that situation a lot better, and I do it a lot, and it really winds me up. And that's why I can't,
Exactly.
I don't want to do that anymore.
Anybody taking notes?
So we're talking about stillness, and that's why meditation is so good.
Well, right. Proper meditation is when we're simply being
Yeah.
and taking information in. And then you might tune into your immediate environment, you might tune into angels, you might tune into whatever. In every single case, if you're meditating, you're taking information in from whatever you're tuned into. Even if you're tuning into your own heart or whatever, you're taking information in. That's why meditation's so good, because in our day-to-day life, we're so wrapped up in being human doings that some people never ever stop. Human doings their whole life, and then as soon as they retire, they fall over dead because their entire self-worth is wrapped up in what they do. So, yes?
What is sleep about then? Is that not beingness?
I think sleep helps bring balance. Helps
But
me
we're not-
sort out all the things I didn't work out during the day. But I'm not a sleep expert or a dream expert. I know when I come to Glastonbury, I dream way more than I do at home. I started dreaming crazy like 3 days before I came here. All of a sudden, things open up. But I assume it's because I'm in low potential. I'm taking information in. Make sense? Okay. So this is being filmed, mostly because this intro has not been given in well over a decade. So, does anybody mind being on film? If you don't mind being on film, I'd like to do a demonstration with a couple of volunteers. Would you like to volunteer? Are you willing? You? In the green? Yes, you!
Depends what I have to do.
Nothing naughty, I promise. Come on up here. And then let's get another volunteer. Do you know each other? No? Okay, come on.
I might wait and see what you do with her first.
No. Come on up. So you can just stand and take the room in. Enjoy. You can just take these wonderful people in. Now, here's the piece that's the big secret that you're getting tonight. And you can try to teach it if you want, but no one's going to get it unless they hear the whole thing. Here's the big secret. Energy always goes out the right eye. Right eye. You've heard of right eye of Horus training versus left eye of Horus training? That's related to this. Left eye is where energy comes in. So what I'm gonna show you here is we're just gonna look at some body language, okay? So stand here. You stand here. And what's your name?
Madeline.
Madeline. And what's your name?
Jill.
Jill. Nice to meet you, Jill. Nice to meet you, Madeline. Stand a little bit closer. Just, what we're gonna do is we're gonna let your auras overlap so you get a little bit uncomfortable. Okay? There you go. Perfect. Now, we're gonna look at the body language. Madeline, please cover your left eye. You can leave your glasses on if you like. There you go. And would
Is
you?
that the right eye?
Huh?
Is that the correct eye?
Well, you covered your left. That's okay.
Which one did you tell me to do?
I don't know. Which one did I tell her to cover? Okay, you did right. Shut up. Hey, we're gonna do both, so it didn't matter which one you did to start. So you cover your right eye. Now we are looking right eye to left eye. Now simply look at each other and watch what happens to their bodies. You see Madeline pull back right there? You see Jill fall in a little bit? But watch, if you look at the needle, Jill's moving very slowly and easily. But Madeline is a little jerky, right? There's a little anxiety there. It's very subtle, but it's there. Okay, you can stop covering your eyes now. How did that feel? Did it feel strange?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not comfortable.
Not comfortable? And you?
Strange at first, but
You just
Okay.
sort of, yeah, it's okay. It's okay to receive information. So now switch. You cover your right and Madeline cover your, there you go.
didn't I do that before?
Yeah, we're doing, I haven't.
Okay.
So no, wait, now we're doing,
yes,
the other
Right.
So I'll cover my
there
left.
you go, cover your left. Thank you. I'm on an 8-hour time difference.
Yeah.
Now just simply watch the body language. There, did you see how Jill's moving faster this time? And Madeline slowed down. Okay, you can stop there. So now how's your comfort level? Is it different?
It did feel different, yes, but not uncomfortable, but just different.
Yeah, and you?
I felt more comfortable.
Yeah, just. Yeah, okay, you can sit down. Great, that's great. Sure.
Brian,
Yes.
is that because we're made to be mirrors for one another?
That's deep, I don't know. That's not a question for me, I don't know. I wasn't there for the beginning.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
People always look at, I know this, but I can't remember which way around, so I'm making sense of it. People always look at one side of a person's face, and the things you want to keep secret, you put on the other side that isn't naturally looked at. So, presuming you're giving out, that's the side that's looked at.
Yeah.
I remember hearing that a long time ago.
Yeah, I mean, your eyes leak a lot of information constantly. A lot. And if you have secrets you need to hide your right eye and not let energy out. So one of my students, she bought a pirate's patch because she wanted to see what it was like to go all day with one eye covered, and then she switched to the other eye, and yeah, the difference was phenomenal.
I remember seeing a program recently where I don't know if it was a psychologist or someone said that it relates to when, specifically for women, when they carry a baby on their hip and they're at a slight angle and one eye looks into the child's opposite eye, so it has that bonding.
Right, I've seen that video. It's a neuroscientist, I don't remember her name.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw the video, and she's correct, but this goes a little bit deeper, explains a little bit more. I mean, there's a reason why we hold our child there. It's because we want to connect left eye to left eye. I mean,
Well, it just might be that it's more comfortable on that particular hip than the other.
Really, it's just swap over. I mean, you have
know.
to do it swap over, otherwise you just get a really sore arm.
yeah, and that's the other thing, you gotta do both sides. But the premise of that video is that when you talk to somebody, you should always look in their left eye. And that way you'll feel more bonded, because when they were children, that's how their mother talked to them and they felt bonded to their mom. Now, she's true in that little piece, in that the person is going to listen to you more if you look in their left eye when you talk to them. That's absolutely true. It has nothing to do with them being a child. It has to do with the left eye takes energy in and the right eye sends energy out. So, yes.
How does it? I'm a little bit deaf, so I lip read.
Oh, good
So I
feeling.
don't look at people's eyes at all. I look at their mouth all the time. Would that potentially make a difference? Make somebody feel uncomfortable?
It's not made me feel uncomfortable at all. So I don't know. I don't know. My guess is that while you're lip reading, you have to be in low potential.
Yeah.
So you're in low potential. We not only pick up what we see, but we also pick up what we feel. So when you're in someone else's aura, you can feel like what's going on with them when you're in low potential. But most of us try to hide what's going on with us because we think we're the only ones that are crazy, right? So we try to hide it and keep it stuck in our aura, and so we don't want people to like feel it. You know? The really good news is that probably half of the things that we think are wrong with us are not wrong with us at all. It's just that we're using our eyes incorrectly when we communicate with people. We're going to do an exercise where you get to feel this. We're going to talk a little bit more first.
Some people get annoyed if people don't look at them when they're talking to them.
For sure.
And in some cultures, it's considered rude to look at people when you talk to them.
Absolutely. Yeah, and there's a lot of sub things going on, but at the fundamental place, it's just about which eye we're using. There's a caveat in that maybe 5% of the population is reversed. So the left side of the body is male, and their giving side and their high potential side is in their eye. But yes?
I had a conversation with someone, like a clearing conversation, the first time I'd spoken with them for quite a while. And while I was speaking, they kept looking over here, and I was kind of feeling, well, what you're saying doesn't really ring true. So like maybe they were hiding the right eyes. Well, that's the right eye there.
Well, if you're trying to clear something, it's different. I don't know what you're trying to clear. So if I'm trying to clear something with somebody and they're the ones who were in the wrong because they stole something from me or whatever, yeah, they're going to feel ashamed. They're not going to want to look me in the eye.
Yeah.
You know, so when we have something we don't want to share, we don't want to use our right eye. We don't want to talk that way. It doesn't feel comfortable. We feel like we're being seen.
Right. Yeah, that figures.
Yeah. So what I was saying is that most of the things that we think are wrong with us because of the way we feel sometimes have nothing to do with our history and everything to do with how we use our eyes and everything to do with how we use our energy with other people. So where does the intellect go? Where does thinking go on here? Right, thinking.
What's the other side of control, Brian?
Chaos. You'll find that out if you come to the workshop. We'll do exercises to show that. Thinking is high potential. Feeling is low potential. The difficulty that we have is that when you had your bell rung as a young child, you know, like I was abused when I was a kid. Like when you get your bell rung as a child, you get your bell rung.
What's that?
It's like getting it's an expression means like get hit in the head and you're like, whoa. Right? Yeah, triggered, like you're like shaking like a bell.
Okay.
When that happens, we get into fight or flight mode. And it's really easy, especially if you're a kid, to get stuck there because suddenly the world is scary and you better stay in fight or flight mode or you're going to get hurt again. And what happens is we end up getting stuck in our thinker. Right? Does that sound like you and me? You know what I'm talking about? Okay. So the solution is a body language solution, which is to adjust the old body language out so that it's not running an old fear. You can get rid of that. If you come to my talk tomorrow and volunteer, we'll get rid of whatever keeps you spinning. No problem. That's what I do for a living. That's what I like doing. Feeling means taking information in and noticing what's going on. When I first started my training in 1985, my teachers drove me crazy. They would say stuff like, oh, I don't like the energy in the room here. Let's go somewhere else. I'd be like, what energy? What are you talking about? What energy? They're like, oh yeah, the energy here is really good. Like, what are you talking about? What energy? And I didn't have very good teachers back then. They could not be specific. None of them ever said, oh, what I mean by energy is how it feels to me. Like, is it really that hard to say? I'm just saying, like, that's how it feels to me. It feels this way. It feels like that. It feels like this. Now, if we're in high potential, we can walk into a situation and we label it. Oh, that's negative. That's bad energy. Or that's rah-rah-rah. But that's labeling what's going on outside of us. It's all based on our own history, and it's based on what we're feeling inside, projecting out. But when we're in low potential, which means feeling, which means taking information in through our left eye, then we can actually take in what's happening in the room. Instead of projecting our own mind out here and seeing it reflected, instead we feel what's actually going on. And that's the beautiful piece of EnergyWorks that I'm giving you tonight. What we're going to do is partner up for exercises. Simple exercises, right eye to left eye. What we're going to do is we're going to receive compliments. So you're going to partner with somebody and you're going to cover your right, well, you'll start by covering your left eye, and you're going to receive an honest compliment from your partner. Doesn't have to be heavy or big, just honest. And you're going to notice how your body feels when you receive a compliment, or try to receive it through your right eye. Notice what happens to your monkey mind. Notice what happens to how you feel in your body. Then we're going to switch. You'll take the same compliment in through your left eye, and notice your body language. Notice that your wheels don't spin. Notice that hearing a compliment actually feels good. The only difference between the two compliments that you will be receiving is taking it in either through your right eye or through your left eye. And just notice how it feels. I teach primarily through experience, giving you experiences. So everything I've talked about so far is theory. It's really a lot of fun. But to experience high and low potential, that's going to help you really feel in your body the value of low potential. Because we were all raised to believe that low potential had no value. We were raised to believe that high potential is how you make money, it's how you meet the right girl or guy, it's how you are successful in life by doing. But what that's done is it's turned us all into wrecks. Like, some of us don't know up from down half the time. I work with Native Americans, and they are so much more grounded than we are. I like to laugh, I'm like, wow, if you're off the reservation, just spinning. But it's not anything wrong with our genetics or who we are or anything else, or even our history. It's simply about how we use our eyes and how we use this energy, outflow versus inflow. So if you've made it more complicated than that, that's okay. Let it be simple tonight. You can get back to your complications later if you'd like to, but let it be simple tonight. We're going to take a couple-minute break. During the break, I'd like you to stand up and pick a different seat. Do not sit next to the person you came here with. The best person to partner up with for this exercise is the person who you are the least familiar with in the room. Someone who you've never seen before, perfect. That's probably not possible in a small town, so whatever. It's someone who you just feel like you don't know as well as you could, someone you don't feel a huge connection with. That's who you pick for your partner. And if you don't have a partner, by the end of the 2 minutes is up, just raise your hand and I'll partner you together. I'll take control. So, stand up. Pick a new seat, pick a new partner. Don't pick a new partner. Pick a partner for the exercise. Is everybody ready? Everybody good?
Yeah.
Eyes up? Left eye up anyway? Left. Okay, so I'm just going to demonstrate with Carol, and then you'll be doing the same thing. This is very simple. Don't make it complicated. You're going to look at your partner. Don't cover your eyes when you're the person doing the thing. Look at your partner, find a compliment. An honest compliment. You like their hair, you like their clothes, you like their smile, you like their vibe, whatever it is. Be honest. Don't make something up that you think they're going to want to hear. Be honest. It doesn't have to be heavy or deep. Just be honest. If you're receiving it, cover your left eye. And listen, try to take it in. And notice how it feels in your body. Wait a second and notice how it feels. And then speak to the person, tell them how it felt to you, and then switch. And then you're going to hear the compliment coming into your left eye. And notice how it feels different in your body. Okay? And then share with your partner, and then you're just going to switch. You're going to flip it around. If you have any questions at all, you can ask. Any questions? Yes?
Sorry, could you just reiterate that? So, do it without covering an eye, first of all.
Right, well, the person speaking doesn't cover their eyes.
Okay.
Okay? The person listening at first covers the left eye.
Right.
So you're taking it into your right, and so the person speaking, you speak into their right eye. You speak into their open eye.
Okay.
And then you're going to switch, you'll cover your right eye and take it in that way and see how it feels.
Okay.
Is it the same compliment?
Yes.
So to make it
Yeah, do the same compliment. Yes?
Is the person talking going to be aware of which eye they're using? We don't worry about that.
Well, when you're talking, you're naturally going to go out your right eye, and most of us just go out our right eye all the time anyway, so it's fine. The main thing is looking in the eye that's open. Good? Okay. Everybody clear? Everybody have a... Yeah? Okay, so when...
Don't ask a question.
when one person, when you've done one side of this, just raise your hand or do something to let me know that we're ready, and so we'll all continue on once everybody's done the first half. Okay? Cool. So, you want to watch me do it first? Yeah, do you want to watch me first, or do you want to just do it?
Okay, we'll watch.
Yeah? All right. So who wants to watch can watch. So I'm just going to say this. So cover your right eye, or cover your left eye. Kelly, you're very brave for coming here all the way.
Okay.
So how does it feel? Cover your right eye. Kelly, you're very brave.
Not much different, actually.
Really? Okay. Just over. You've got a wonderful smile. Is it on? Oh no. Did you record that? How did that feel when you took it into your right eye? High energy?
Yeah,
Yes, Rick?
expansive and like a warm feeling that kind of spread.
When you took it into your right eye? Interesting.
No, left eye.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I'm taking the wrong way around.
You're not talking.
Not listening then.
It's so markedly different.
Yeah.
Remarkably different. When you take information in through your right eye, that monkey mind wants to filter it. Because you're not receiving, you're taking. Huh? And that's how we go out of whack with other people all the time. In the past, you can make a choice now to not do that anymore. When people are arguing, right, it's high potential. Someone's mad, they want to argue, they want to get their energy out. But when you get hit with that, what's the natural response? We go even higher. Yeah. What do you mean I'm wrong? I'm not wrong, you're wrong. Huh? And then it gets higher and higher, and pretty soon it's fisticuffs. That's how arguments go. Or it gets to a place where you just don't want to talk to each other anymore. You can diffuse any argument by simply going into low potential. Just go low. That doesn't mean you're losing. it means that you can give an honest acknowledgement to the person who's like all in their drama or whatever in high potential. Because if you're in low potential, you can actually hear what they say and you can say, oh, I heard you. Or yes, I promise I won't park in your parking spot anymore, or whatever it is, you know? But that's really the key. I mean, if you watch guys get into arguments, that's what they do. High potential, higher potential, higher potential, higher potential, until pretty soon there's all this energy going on and no one knows what to do. But when we're taught that human doings are where the value is, it's really hard to then to give that up and to go into human being. But in human being mode, you can control the situation. A person in high potential who's all anxious and excited doesn't have any control over where they're going or what they're going to say. They're just mad. Or they're just high potential, high energy and can't wait to get this thing out. You know, they really want to share it. It can be hard to let that land, primarily because we're all afraid of change. So if you like to learn to be comfortable with change, come to the play shop. This is a slice of what I do, it's not all of what I do. If you like to be more comfortable with change, come to the play shop. But change, the fear of change, is primarily why we avoid low potential. Acknowledging that to yourself makes it easier to be in low potential. Because the fact is, we're changing all the time anyway. You know, it can be safe to change. But hearing something new, say from your life partner who's telling you something you've never heard before, and they're all excited about it and it's going to change your life, like, what, you want to move to where? Or whatever, like change can turn on fears. Change can throw us into high potential because we want to get excited and keep things the way they are. But if you're willing to just slip into low potential and take it all in, you can find out that, oh, that change actually wasn't so bad at all, or actually this feels really good, or, oh, I'm glad that high energy experience is over. Yes?
Sorry. Thinking about my partner has ADHD. All the time.
Yeah.
And he wants to put his focus in. Us, as the, sorry, what term did you use for the feeling, the receiving?
Receiving, feeling, low potential.
Low potential.
Yeah.
How do you have any suggestions of how you use that in order
To calm him down?
yeah, so you can communicate better?
Yes. Stay in low potential, turn your face, give him your left eye so he knows you're hearing him.
Okay.
Lots of times when people get excited and want to repeat, it's because they think they're not being heard.
Okay.
So left eye and acknowledgement, I hear you.
Okay.
I get it.
Okay.
I don't know what you say here, but there's lots of ways to let people know that you understand and that you hear them. However, it has to be honest.
Yeah.
You can't be in high potential and then pretend like you're listening to them. You actually have to listen. You actually have to be in low potential. But you know, that being in low potential, it really just means remaining calm, left eye, giving an acknowledgement. It drives my wife crazy. Because she'll get all excited and tell me like I have to do something, or you know, do something differently or whatever. And instead of arguing with her, I'll just say, okay. And I'm in low potential, like, okay, good. That sounds great. She'll be like, I hate it when you do that. Because what she really wants is to have a little bit of a back and forth about it, you know? But I'll just be like, no, back and forth. I'll just agree with whatever you want. I'm fine. It's good. We can change whatever. What? You want to go to Arizona instead of New York? Okay, no problem. You know, I try to avoid having expectations or desires, because when we have expectations and desires, we're putting like a carrot on a stick, and then we want to chase the carrot, and we stay in high potential until we get our carrot. And at least that's how it's been for me in my past. So I try to stay in low potential and just take in as much information as I can. So let me write this back up. So this is high, low. Where is taking action? Yes.
Going back to what you were just saying.
Oh yeah.
If you want to stay in low potential, then your partner automatically has to be in high potential? Or can you both be in low potential? Doesn't one of you have to be in high potential?
Well, there's two orders of magnitude. One is you are either in high or low, depending on which direction your energy is flowing. If energy is coming into you, then you're in low. If your energy is going out, then you're in high. But then there's how you are relative to somebody else. So you could be in high potential because your energy is going out, but someone else who's super excited, they're in even higher potential than you are. So relative to them, you are in low. Does that make sense? Now,
But you can both be the same, can't you? I mean, there's a sort of give and take that's completely balanced. Is that
well,
possible? Is that
in a
possible?
perfect balance, one person's in high potential and another person's in low, and then the pressure evens out and you have balance and you're both at the same place.
But what about if you're both in low potential and both receiving?
Then you probably want
That's called love. So there's lots of fun things that happen when you have low potential and low potential together, or high potential and high potential together. And we're going to talk about that. We'll do exercises with that on Friday if you come, or when you come. And yes, so things are different, things happen differently. But the real magic happens when we're in low potential and take information in. And this is because we always make the best choice for ourselves based on the information we have. This is a lesson from the play shop, but it applies here too. Every choice you've ever made in your life was perfect for the information you had at that time. Now today, you can look back on your life and say, oh man, I shouldn't have gone to that school, right? You know, all the bad choices we made, but that's because you have new information today that you didn't have back then. Back then, you made the best choice that you could for yourself based on the information you had. However, here's the good news. From here on out, when you need to make a choice, when you have to make a choice about what job do I take, what person do I date, what car do I buy, whatever your choices are based on information. You get information only when you're in low potential. So it's a good heads up, like when you've got a big choice to make, stop and make sure you go into low potential and get all the information you can. Right? Because some cars look really pretty and shiny, but if you're not in low potential, you won't notice that, oh yeah, well the engine doesn't sound right. You're not going to notice. You're just going to buy the car. Low potential is the key really to everything because we take information in and then we can make a better choice. The quality of information you can take in low potential is what you're looking for. It's what you've been looking for. It's why you came here tonight. In low potential, you can notice anything and everything. It's been a while, but I teach a casino class to my graduates. So, casino, we walk into the casino, go into low potential and notice what you notice. I was walking by, this big spinning, I don't know if they have it here, it was a big spinning wheel with numbers on it. 1, 2, 5, 10, and 45. And if you put your money on the right number and it hits, you get that amount times your bet. So if you put $10 on 2 and it hits the 2, you'll get 2 times $10. And if you put it on the 10, you get 10 times $10. Well, I was just walking through the casino and all of a sudden I pick up 90, like it's like screaming in my head. I'm in low potential, I'm like 90, what is 90? And I'm like, I look around and right when I turn, there's the wheel and 45, I see the 45 and I'm like, wait, well, 45 is 2 times, or 90 is 2 times 45. So I put $2 on 45 and I stood back and it hit and I won $90. I was like, Patrick, wow, that's really good. Thanks, dude. But that's the thing. You can be in the grocery store and if you're in low potential, suddenly you might notice, oh, there's the friend I've been looking for 5 years. And like, they're right there. They're like right there shopping. I need to go talk to them. Or if you're in low potential, notice that something's on sale that you love. But if we're in high potential, spinning our wheels, thinking about what we're going to do later today, or thinking about how mad we are at somebody from last week, then we're in high potential, we're spinning our wheels, and we're not taking information in. We aren't noticing what's on sale. We aren't noticing what's good about this car or what's bad about that car. That's truly, truly the key. Now, the magic really comes from intentions and feeling, sensations. Everything that you speak with feeling and intention becomes true. As long as your wheels aren't spinning and you're not debating it, it comes true. You can manifest anything you desire. I manifested coming here, right? Didn't take too long. But that's because we send our choices out in high potential, right? If you're praying, high potential, send your choice out, but then inhale. Let the choice get returned to you. If you're always in high potential, it'll never get to you. I know plenty of people who are stuck in high potential who are saying, how come I can never get XYZ? Well, it's because you're always in high potential. You need to stop and just let it come to you. Batteries have a positive side and a negative side. High potential, low potential. And actually it's reversed. But this says plus, and that says minus, a little knob on the battery. And then when you connect it, right? This is, a battery basically works on the same principle. High potential flowing into low potential, right? High potential flows into low potential until they're balanced. When a battery no longer works, it isn't because there's no energy left in it. It's because all the energy, or half the energy from the high potential side has deflated into the low potential side until it's balanced. And now it's unusable because it's already balanced. That's how a battery works. What's really cool about this class and what you're learning today is that power doesn't come from high potential. Power comes from low potential. It's not the high potential end of the battery pushing energy into the empty place. It's actually the empty place pulling the energy in. When you're in low potential, you're like a black hole. You draw energy to you. That's why meditation is critical to learning any of the subtle tricks and fun things you can do. Because when you learn to meditate and be still and let yourself be low potential, suddenly you can start feeling a lot more. And anything you feel is information. Everything's information. And those things that you feel, you can learn how to transmute them and then send them back out. I used to play a game where I just walk around town, find somebody upset, feel it in my body, turn it into love and send it back. And that's kind of a fun thing to do. It's not good for your karma. I don't suggest doing that. I got guru belly from doing silly things like that to people. But doing things like that will show you that feelings, sensations, things like love have an impact. Love has a huge impact on the world, much more than fear or hate. But you're only going to really feel it or be able to take advantage of that if you're willing to be in low potential. And low potential means covering your right eye if you have to. Take information in. Yes, sir.
So earlier on, there's someone I know who lives around here I haven't seen for probably a couple of years or something, and I was thinking about them, and I got a bit lost when I was walking down here. I'd only been here for a couple of hours, and they just appeared. They just suddenly appeared.
Yeah. And were you in low potential?
I guess I must have been, yeah.
Yeah. You did EnergyWorks online, right? You just finished it. So Rick's an online student. So EnergyWorks also happens online. I have an online campus, if you haven't seen it or know about it. And the online EnergyWorks is actually a little more involved. It has more detail than what you're going to get Friday. But it doesn't have partnered exercises, which is what makes the live class so fun. So what we've done today, we did a partnered exercise in-house where you all know what's going on. You know the other person's doing the left eye thing and you're feeling it in your body and you're sharing. When we do the EnergyWorks class, we'll do some of that, but we're also going to go out in public and you're going to use it on the unsuspecting people. But when you do that, then you'll really begin to feel in your body how impactful this is. Really impactful. And you'll end up making new friends and maybe losing some old ones, I don't know. Want the information.
Can you
Yes.
say a little bit more? You just said something about, as well as making friends, you might lose friends, because that's been happening to me quite a bit recently.
Well, when we're in high potential, it's really easy for people to push our buttons. It's easy for people to control us. If you're in high potential, someone knows, your friends know what to say to get you to not go somewhere or to make this choice or that choice.
So they lose control of you.
Yeah, when you go into low potential, people, I mean, and, you know, friends, that's a big word.
Sure.
But people who can't control you anymore, they suddenly don't know how to interact with you and they tend to fall away. That's my experience.
Yeah, that sounds accurate.
But, you know, I'm talking about people who were really kind of acquaintances, but in America we call them friends because we don't have a word for that other thing.
Yeah, that checks. Thank you.
Yeah. Did everybody learn something tonight? Raise your hand. Yay. Yay. Who wants to come Friday?
Yeah, I think
Yay, that's a good group. Yes, Carol.
Can I share something with you as just a quick summing up?
Yeah, please.
I better come up here and.
Oh, you're gonna sum up what I said?
Yeah.
Oh,
Is that
okay.
all right?
Sure. You know you're on video, right?
Right.
All right.
I'm a body language teacher, so Brian Snyder says. Sometimes it says no, and sometimes it says yes. It's based on your body wisdom and how it really flows, because energy only moves one way, from highs down to the lows. Your body wisdom tries so hard to bring you back to balance, so you just have to tune in to your body's hidden talents. Are you in high potential and giving your attention? Or has it all dropped down to low, and are you feeling tension? Are your responses caring? Do you listen to what's said, or do you always think about the comments in your head? If too much energy goes out, then info doesn't have space. We miss a lot of what's possible because we're always in a race. You're in high mode when you're thinking, or stuck in fight or flight. Your body's stuck in the state you were when you first felt that awful fright. So stop being a human doing, just be a being for a change. Go into low potential and things might soon rearrange. Your choices are the best ones when made in low potential key, because that's when you're more receptive and there'll be more you'll hear and see. Stop being in high potential, then things will just appear. It will seem like magic, but they were actually quite near. If you're in high potential, your sensitivity's on alert. You're more easily triggered and you're much more easily hurt. We try to hide our feelings. We think that they're well hid, but they all of a sudden tumble out when someone lifts the lid. And stuff gets stuck in our bodies and then they keep repeating. Some of us try to stuff them down by drinking or overeating. Now, energy moves, of course it does. It's what makes everybody tick. And if we use it wisely, we're less likely to get sick. And we're less likely to be unhappy if we shift what's in the way. So if we do Brian Snyder's course, we could enjoy life every day. Thank you.